Howdy, welcome to BVR's advertisement for the next webinar. I've got a couple of things I want to share with you. My name is Shawn Hyde. I'm speaking next week. I'm recording this thing on Thursday, the 22nd. There's a couple of tips and tricks that I want to just point out that's fun for Excel. A lot of folks like to hide rows and columns. You may have seen something like this. Right click here and you can go hide, and then you got to do all of this to unhide. My problem with hiding and unhiding is sometimes things get lost. So instead of hiding, what I like to do is if I select the whole row, I use a lot of keyboard shortcuts too. So Shift Alt right arrow is the keyboard shortcut. See this little box show up? That's called grouping. I believe that's up in data. Yep, right there, group, ungroup. You can use that there. So you can click this, get the same effect, but there's a little box out there off to the side, so you know that something is hidden, something's grouped away. So you can open it and close it as much as you like. These little buttons 1s and 2s show up. 1 closes everything that you have hidden, and then 2 opens everything at once. So that's kind of cool. The other thing that I thought would be really useful to show is something called dynamic text. This is just a sample of an adjusted book value method that I've got put together. I'm going to scroll down here where I've got note numbers. For example, these, let's just say note here for 8. If I come back up here, I can see 8 is linked to community depreciation. If I were to change this to say, oh, something unreasonable, how about 985? I just typed it once here. If I scroll back down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oh, look, my note numbers are linked together. And the next one goes +1, right? So the way that works, you can see if I open it up, there's a little bit of a formula here. Equals, quote mark, and you put some text, whatever you want, close quote mark, ampersand, that tells Excel, okay, now we're done with the text. Let's have some formulaic stuff where we can reference the cells that we're looking at. And this is I-19. Well, I-19 is just up here, right? And then I come back down, another ampersand, close quote, more text, finished all the way through the sentence, and then the last quote mark. Then you hit enter, and now you've got a piece of information inside here that is linked to the actual cell. So the way you can write, and here's one with a formula in it. Let me show you this one that I put together. So I like to have a note that shows the net of all my adjustments result in a decrease or an increase, whatever it happens to be. And because grammar is a big deal to me, I set this up with a nested if statement, where I can say if cell E45 is less than 0, E45 is that equity adjustment. Then I'm going to put the letter N next to this A. So instead of A decrease, it'll say N. In that same formula here, it'll say decrease or increase as it needs to be. Then I just do the math. Text, ABS is absolute value. So whether it's a negative or a positive, in cell E45, it's going to show up as a positive number in this text. And then this function, text, this is how you format it. I'm taking that number I want to look like with a $sign, and then however many decimals, or not decimals, however many places there are, zeros, 10,000, 100,000, whatever. I want to have the commas in the right spot. That's how you tell Excel how to do that. So let me just show you what it looks like, 18602 to equity. Let me just play this one up here and change this. I'm going to do, minus 789456123. All of my built-in conditional formatting checks turn red. That's okay. We'll check on that later on in a webinar. If you have a question with that, we'll talk about it. But come down here. Now look, see, it's changed. 789456132. If I didn't have the formatting for the text formula in there, let me just delete that. Delete the text and the way to format it. I need the ampersand sign there. That should work. See that number? It doesn't have no $sign, no apostrophes. It doesn't look quite as pretty. So that's why I put that undo the text function in there. So those are a couple of tips and things that I thought would be fun to highlight what kind of things we're going to talk about on Wednesday. If you're interested, come and see us.